Hello and welcome. We've already crossed off 2 names on our list, but we still have 3 more to go, including Bill, so we're gonna get right to it and kill Bill.
I'm sorry. I overreacted.
You overreacted?
Kill Bill was released by Miramax back in 2004, and during this time period, Disney still owned Miramax Studios. So by technicality, this still does count as a Disney film, and I love the irony of how anti-Disney this film is. It's a continuation of the first one that we discussed and the end of the story. And like I mentioned in the first one, this originally was supposed to be one complete film, the whole bloody affair, but it was too long a film and they decided to cut it up into sequels and 2 parts in total, compared to having a 4-hour film basically in one sitting. Quentin Tarantino, who wrote and directed this film, is someone you're either gonna love or you're gonna hate. His style and direction is very unique. I really question how he's a completely normal person to think up of these concepts, but it really is genius filmmaking, and you gotta give credit to where it's due. It's very unique. I feel like you're never gonna see a story like this or a style like this ever again. From the cinematography to the screenwriting to the way the shots are set up and all the characters and every single little detail in these films, they're so unique and interesting, and he does a good job. The second part of Kill Bill, though, to me, did drag a lot, and of course all the characters are so flawed and terrible people. There's no argument about that, but this is the continuation where the bride ends up finding her daughter is still alive. And she's been on a vengeance for 4 years, trying to kill these people that tried to kill her because they killed her daughter. But her daughter's now 4 years old, she survived, and Bill still has her on hand. And we have the entire same cast again, so we still have everyone that I mentioned in the first part. Out of all of the things that are wrong with these films, and there are a lot of things that are wrong with these films, I was more outraged by the fact that they're straight up telling their 4-year-old daughter that they wanted to kill each other and that Daddy wanted to kill Mommy.
I shot Mommy. Not pretend shooting like we were just doing. I shot her for real.
Why did you want to see what happened?
No, I knew what would happen to Mommy if I shot her. What I didn't know was when I shot Mommy, what would happen to me.
And the daughter's totally fine with this. Like, I know that they're all screwed up people, but I was completely shocked by this being like, why are you telling a 4-year-old these things? You are literally corrupting her, and I know they're corrupted people, so it's not gonna care because they don't know what they're doing and they're all just like screwed up in the head. But I was just completely shocked that they're telling this 4-year-old girl, and she's totally fine with it. And bang, 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 let me pretend to shoot everyone too, and then in 10 years I'm gonna shoot everyone for real.
Freeze, Mommy.
Bang, bang! Oh! Oh! She got us, baby. Mom got us. Oh, I'm dying.
I'm dying.
I really loved the first film. I thought the pacing was great and everything. This one, I felt like it dragged a lot, and there could have been scenes that were cut out, and I felt like if they wanted to complete the story, they could have done the first and the second film into one film without missing anything. They could have cut some things out and it would have been fine. That's my opinion. I appreciate the non-linear storytelling that he always does. It makes things really interesting, and it gives people a chance to flip back and forth and spice things up, and dead characters have a chance to come back to life because they could be flashbacking. But I felt like the interaction between Bill and the bride dragged on a lot. The end third of the film went on a little bit too long. I felt like it could have been cut a little bit more, but the reward was nice. The payout was interesting, and It's an interesting tale that is completely different from anything you'll ever see. Very anti-Disney, but I think it's hilarious that it was produced when Disney owned the studios. And I want to be able to see projects like this continue to be made, because different voices have different stories, and it's still a unique story and deserves to be told. And like I mentioned before, it's perfect timing right now that we have a rumor that Disney is going to stop making more adult-centric stories that stray away from their family-friendly persona with 20th Century Fox when they buy them out. And that is a shame, because you have classic films like these new classic films that they shouldn't be censored, and Disney should not be censoring anything in their catalog, even if it's under 20th Century Fox. That's what they created Touchstone for. Miramax has films all for adults, and it's an enjoyable film, and you know it's fantasy, and none of this would happen in this film. Nothing about this film was realistic, and you know this, and it was meant for a crowd that has comprehension and can defer reality and fantasy between each other and is totally fine with it. It's a specific crowd that's going to love this film, but there's going to be a market for it anyways, and nothing should be censored. I'm so happy I chose this to talk about because it's important. Even though the first half of it was better than the second half, I still adore Quentin Tarantino as a filmmaker, and he's definitely one of the most unique filmmakers of all history of filmmaking so far. Tomorrow we're going to take a look at another 20th Century Fox film that's also a very important classic in my opinion, Fight Club. So stay tuned, and as always I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.